Good morning. I woke up this morning, listened to the news, and the situation is not getting any better, especially in Nebraska. The farmers are complaining that they're losing money. If that happened, we are definitely headed for a deep recession. And I feel sorry for the farmers.
I don't. You're part of the 80-something% that voted for whoever, and I'm part of the 92%. Unfortunately, over in Nebraska, what happened to them? They voted against their interests. They knew that a great percentage of their workers were undocumented immigrants, and they put the immigrants in jeopardy, so they had to end up leaving. And so when they left, who's going to farm now? They're predicting that within 6 months, Nebraska, the farmers there should be losing a lot of their farms. And now a lot of them are online. We'll show you some of the videos. A lot of them are online crying and complaining about not having enough people in order to keep the farm going. Like, all the documented immigrants are gone.
Does anyone even care about Nebraska? Does anyone even care?
The state of Nebraska, as they are ready to go bankrupt in the next 6 months, their state's economy relies heavily on agriculture. And over 70% of their workforce is from undocumented immigrants. Knowing this, they voted for Trump, hoping that he would get rid of the undocumented immigrants. And now they are severely understaffed across the entire state, unable to find enough workers to replace the undocumented immigrants who supplied their state with enough workforce. In the next 6 months, the state of Nebraska will be entirely bankrupt, unable to support itself, and be looking for a bailout from the federal government. All because they let their racism and hate towards immigrants be more important than their economic livelihoods. There's nothing to feel bad about here. They voted for this. They knew exactly what they were voting for. Now they have what they wanted. Let's see how it turns out for them.
But you voted for them to be deported. And now you're online crying about it. So in this situation, what I'm expecting, I don't know what you're expecting there, but what I'm expecting is for a lot of real estate property to come online.
Yeah, like I said, the reason why I say I feel sorry for them, because they made the biggest mistake in their life, you know what I'm saying?
Dad has more sympathy than
And but what they voted for, that's what they got now. I said that in my previous videos. But they never thought this situation would turn out the way it turned out. And grown men's crying.
All on the internet crying.
And they crying and saying that they can't afford to feed the family. It's just terrible, it's just terrible. But like I said, they voted for what they got.
They actually voted to disenfranchise other groups. They didn't expect for it to also include them. There's this big myth that, all these other groups are taking up all the entitlements or taking up everything that should be going to other people that work. And if you look at the percentage, there is more middle and lower class whites in the United States that benefit from a lot of things here in the United States that they so-called want to throw a label on as entitlement. Even the DEI stuff, right? They thought that it was going to disenfranchise Black people. Do you notice when a lot of this stuff is taking place, Black people are quiet because we are well informed about what is going on with us here in the United States. We know for a fact that a lot of this diversity and inclusion stuff included others outside of us. It included white people, it included Asians, it included other groups outside of our own. Even what was going on with the colleges and how they affirmative action with the colleges, they thought that was going to affect like Black people, right? But when it happened, Black people was quiet. Because guess what happened? The agents that stood up for disenfranchising Black people, what ended up happening, now their enrollment into what they call prestigious universities is low now. their numbers have gone down. So
now with the farmers, this is what I believe is going to happen. The corporation going to wait till the land get dirt cheap, and they're going to buy up all their land and do what the hell they want to do with it. But they didn't, like I said, they didn't see that coming. But guess what? They see it now.
well, I don't think that, just my opinion, there will be corporations that will buy out a lot of the farmlands. But what normally happens in these type of situations is that when there's real estate property, the banks, especially if there's loans on it, it gets heavy. Like it happened in 2008. Things get bank heavy, meaning that the banks have too much assets, right? And so what you will end up seeing is a lot of foreclosures. And that foreclosures is going to enable people that do have money outside of even the rich, just people that have access, to go ahead and buy real estate at a lower price, because it's going to make them, I feel like it'll make the market drop, in my opinion, because it's happened before, So what ends up happening, there's going to be a lot of HUD homes, a lot of foreclosures. And if you have your finances in order, what you can do is, unfortunately, it's their problem. You can capitalize off of that, acres of land. I don't know how many people want to be in Nebraska, but it's not just happening in Nebraska, it's happening all over. And there's so many in Georgia alone. Every time we pass by a farm, we're now seeing new for sale signs. Mm-hmm. All the farms are selling in Georgia like crazy. There was a lot of farms that sold under Trump's administration the last time, but I really believe this time there's going to be a huge shift in farmland. There's going to be a lot of farmland sold here in Georgia because we're seeing the signs pop up everywhere. Everywhere. And then, it's kind of crazy. Some of them that have for sale signs still have the nerve to have a Trump sign out there too. Because there's a lot of people
I call them die hard.
Like, they're not connecting the dots. They're really not. It is really, their problem. Because we got our own, the 92% and the 80% got our own issues. So it is what it is. But yeah, it's not getting any better.
So we just let y'all know what's going on. And they voted for what they wanted, and they got it. So it is what it is.
And it's on a decline. You could see there's an economic decline, there's a social decline, there's mental decline. You could see that a lot of our allies are no longer our allies anymore. So we're becoming increasingly isolated. And Dad, you watch the news? Dad is a news fanatic.
I watch. See, when I be watching, my daughter get on my case sometimes by me watching news all the time. I watch
He's plugged in.
All the networks I watch, but I find the congruency in what's going on. One network might say this, and another one might say that, but I find the congruency of what's going on. And I watch from PBS to C-SPAN to MSNBC, ABC, name all of them. I watch them. But the thing that's going on now,
Roland Martin.
Yeah, all of them. Mm-hmm. And especially Roland Martin, they don't know what to do. They're at a point that they don't know what to do.
Town halls, they erupted at the town halls.
That some entity going to come in and straighten this stuff out. But I think it's too far gone, And one thing more I want to say is this. When a man is already poor, what else can you take away from him? But if a man got 100,000, $500,000, $1 million, he lose everything, he believe that he done lost his soul. So it is what it is, and we're just sharing a thought with you today. And
what's the solution on our end? We see that I'm sorry to interrupt you, Dad.
Yeah.
But we're saying that things are kind of like in bad shape for the United States. Now it's an opportunity for you to be like the ants instead of the grasshopper, right? Mm-hmm. You got to stir up Don't spend. I see a couple of people went out and bought some new cars in the midst of all of this.
Yeah.
Store up.
Yeah. Remember that video I made about what my grandmama, Papa's dad, had said? It said when this guy had came by in Madison, Florida, and it said that the depression was coming. And she really didn't know what the depression was. She thought it was a storm. And my people didn't suffer through that because they had food, clothing, and shelter. They had their own garden. They had their own smokehouse. They know how to hunt. And they were well prepared. So go back to basic: food, clothing, and shelter, and sometimes comfort. And we could get through this easy because if you ain't got nothing and depression come, what more could they do to you? You know what I'm saying? You ain't got nothing, know how to.
What else can they take?
Yeah, what else can they take? And they definitely can't take your soul because God says don't touch the man's soul.
They have to have permission for that.
Yeah. So it is what it is, and thank y'all for taking the time to listen to us. And when you have the time, please like and subscribe. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.